Good evening. I'm Maven of the Eventide, and welcome back to another vampire playthroughs
It's the middle of the afternoon.
No, it's not. We sleep during the day.
Oh, sorry. I can't break the illusion.
You destroy the illusion, Paul.
Start over.
Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York.
Begin mode settings, credit exit.
We are playing a Ventru playthrough of this game.
A Ventru playthrough with Gwentru.
Gwentru the Ventru.
Playthrough.
And we are on night 9. Surely we're very close to the end.
Never.
We were told it was like a 3-hour game, but at the rate we were playing, it's going to be like a 6-hour game. But I think we're already on to hour 7.
Are we?
Yep.
Okay.
So I don't know how much longer it's going to last or how much longer it's going to take, but we're here for the whole time.
They keep adding content to this game over and over again, so we'll never run out.
So last we left, I had asked you if we should go see that mysterious guy or if we should go back to our Nosferatu friend, and you guys all told me to go back to the Nosferatu friend, so that's what we're going to do first.
Okie dokie.
However, we just had a rest, and lo and behold, Kadir al-Assami, the sheriff of New York City, is knocking at the door to our haven. The sight comes as more than a little shocking. If he had business with you, you'd either expect to see him already inside or never see him coming at all. Aw, he's paying me gentlemanly respects. Maybe he's here to, be my friend. Yet there he is, on the other side of the peephole, patiently and politely waiting for you to let him in. You carefully unlock the door and face him in silence.
Evening. May I come in?
You simply stare at him. Your lack of an answer doesn't faze him, and your lack of resistance as he starts walking inside has obviously been interpreted as a permission. Once inside, he starts looking around as you cautiously stay by the door.
Haven't really had time to make this place your own yet, have you? It feels like Langley's apartment through and through, a secluded study where nobody studies anything. Look at the books on this shelf. Obviously meant to impress guests, not to be read. They reveal nothing about their owner aside from the aching desire to be taken seriously as an intellectual.
He picks one of them up and smirks before putting it away.
The phenomenology of spirit, next to all of this garbage poetry. We can make a bet if she's read more than 20 pages, I owe you $50 and a gallon of blood.
That sounds great.
The kind of place that is he doing this inner monologue thing that the Nosferatu guy is?
No, I think he's very
the kind
outwardly...
of place that self-professed hermits entomb themselves in to suffer.
He just wants to trash Sophie to me. I don't know why. I thought we were all friends here.
Maybe he's putting you some sort of test, you know? Considering how much you have to run around these nights. What? You're not going to make me read that again. I did it with the Nosferatu. That's plenty.
No, you got to read it the right way.
Do it right, Paul.
I think you missed part.
The kind of place that self-professed hermits entomb themselves in to suffer. Considering how much you have to run around these nights, you probably only use it to shelter from the sun and rest, right?
Even though he's obviously making an effort to come off as non-threatening, it's impossible to forget the first impression he made. You still see him as a fierce predator, trying hard not to expose his true colors. You sense a familiar fight-or-flight response as you struggle to find a diplomatic answer to his last question. If Kadir is bothered by your silence, he doesn't let it show. He keeps walking around, toying with whatever catches his eye. Eventually, he speaks up again.
Watching any baseball lately? If I had to guess, you stick me as a Red Sox fan?
Oh, low blow! You did not go there, you...
Is that just something you not say to a New Yorker?
No, it is not.
Okay.
The Red Sox are Boston.
Is there a feud?
Yes, there's a feud.
You probably don't really pay attention to ball.
I don't pay attention to ball, and I know this.
You lived in New York for longer than I have.
Yeah, but I've never gone to a sporting event.
A sporting event. Spoken like a true fan.
He is just trying to get my goat. Now, he's inviting you to talk in a more direct manner. You attempt to overcome your physical reaction to him and reply as casually as you can. Where are my reply options?
I think did we just blank on an answer? Alright, well, we have a 1 in 3 chance of picking something perfect. Oh. You see, no, you're right. That's absolutely a stupid design. They should have put the little ellipses there like every other game in the world does.
They should have put, yeah.
Instead, we make you think the game's broken.
Is he using, like, his mental, like, intimidation powers on me or something? Is this a vampire
I think
thing?
He's
Do
just,
I have a crush on him? Is that why I'm tongue-tied?
No, you're wondering why he's here and if you're in trouble.
Uh-huh. Your mind keeps going back to that night when everything was changed forever. Waking up in hell with a body next to you, spending a night in that underground sweatbox, unsure of what will happen next, that endless car ride, 3 strikes, a bloodthirsty crowd, that blade. A rebirth, a baptism by fire, a frightening executor who made sure the flames scarred your spirit.
So, not the Red Sox.
As you look into his face, you realize he's read the emotions from yours.
Not in the mood to exchange pleasantries, huh?
There's no animosity in his voice. He's just stating a fact.
And let me get straight to the point then.
He momentarily stops caring about his surroundings, turning all of his attention to you, and demanding the entirety of your attention in return.
You see, there's something I've realized over the years. In large part, I may have been hired just to look menacing with a sword, but my job is all about seeing through the bonds and relationships. The Camarilla would be safe as long as its members adhered to certain social contracts, making their dealings and affinities plain for everyone to see, but that obviously remains a pipe dream. This is a community of born conspirators. Overly ambitious gangsters and politicians, monsters in denial, all sorts of tragically broken individuals. They are driven by desires that make them incompatible with the masquerade, incompatible with prolonged survival of the Camarilla, incompatible with the methods I use to operate. And so, I am doomed to be like a cop, constantly insulted behind my back, maybe for good reason, but immediately called for help whenever someone loses their tableware. Or like an Agatha Christie protagonist, outwardly assisted by everyone, but consistently lied to about everyone's pasts and motivations, even if my failure to solve the mystery might be the end of us all.
He tries to sound like he's peacefully resigned to this fate.
Well, those stage directions would have been nicer before I started reading.
Right?
Peacefully resigned.
But it's easy to detect a tinge of regret in his voice. A voice belonging to someone who once had bigger ambitions than this. What broke him?
So you see, this detective, the why-done-it is far more important than the who-done-it and how-done-it. When you understand all the players and their mutual obligations, you easily understand every crime. Of course, the kindred know it, so they devise ways to make my job much harder, just like conspiracies between 2 unrelated actors that depend on scratching each other's backs for mutual security. Or they enforce a blood bond to make someone unexpected their thrall, a boss serving their employee, a rebel serving a tyrant, just because one is regularly forced to drink another's blood. Blood bond, noun.
A mystically enforced relationship between a vampire and another, mortal or kindred. Drinking the blood of a vampire directly from the vein 3 times creates an intense loyalty in the drinker, resembling infatuation or obsession. The bond loses its grip with time, but is reinforced by repeated drinks from the donor vampire. That sounds like a fun trick. I want to make some thralls.
Have we been drinking from Sophie at all?
No.
Okay. I just thought that maybe what he was implying. What has Sophie seen in you? Why does the prince keep asking me about your actions? How come you're being pushed to build your own coteries so fast? You are surrounded by unclear motivations which you yourself don't understand. That unnerves me. And it should unnerve you as well.
I mean, I feel like I'm pretty unnerved.
Well, it's just because he's staring at you.
But, like, this whole, situation has been unnerving. You unnerve me, bitch.
That's too sassy.
Oh, And what are your motivations? Finally, you manage to raise your voice. Kadir notices the effort and smiles softly.
So you haven't gone mute since the last time I saw you. Good. Well, I am here for a selfish reason. I need to develop a rapport with you to better fulfill my obligations. The last time we met, I couldn't see you as my equal, but now that you've been accepted into the Camarilla... Camarilla?
Camarilla!
Now that you've been accepted into the Camarilla, what choice do I have?
Thanks.
I'd understand if you didn't want to see my face again, but I'm one of the faces of the New York City community, and as long as you're a part of it, it's going to be impossible to avoid me. Especially when I have business with you. And I do. As you might have guessed by now, one of my tasks is uncovering and understanding your bonds, and one of them might endanger our community.
Well, that's not menacing at all. Who is he talking about?
Probably the guy who showed you the priest.
Sophie? I'm not bonded to Kaiser. He can't mean Kaiser, can he?
Which one's Kaiser?
He was the creepy guy in the limo.
I mean, I would assume Kaiser, but...
I mean, he mentioned Sophie before, so I'm going to ask if it's her.
No.
Is this about Sophie? Kadir shakes his head.
Sophie's fine. She's plotting something big, and I know it, and she knows I know it, but she's treading carefully, as she should. No, they're not a major player.
He produces a file from underneath his coat and passes it to you.
This is our troublemaker.
You open the file and see some printed photos. You freeze up as you recognize the face and are overwhelmed by a flood of repressed memories. Newman. Benjamin Newman.
Hello, Jerry.
The asshole who made the last few years of your life a living hell.
Years? I thought you were only been like a vampire for like a month.
I think he's a human.
What?
No.
No, why is he made your life a living hell for the last year? Because he was the guy who turned you and then walked away, right?
I don't think he was the guy who turned me.
Oh.
He's just a guy that I know from my human life.
Okay.
The sexual harassment, the mobbing, the way he kept delegating all his obligations to you without ever letting you reap the fruits of your labor, the way he stole your soul. Oh, he was my boss.
Oh. No wonder you hate him.
Goddamn prick. You look up at Kadir, expecting answers.
Apparently your company is in trouble. Lots of financial irregularities, and Mr. Newman is all too happy to testify that one employee who's just suddenly disappeared is to blame.
That jerk!
The story is as fishy as it gets, but your disappearance is being investigated, and a lot of people are searching for you. It attracts attention to us, and as such, it must be stopped.
All right, let's kill him.
Yes.
Let's eat him. Must be stopped. Sounds threatening. You dread thinking what he's planning.
You didn't dread it at all. You're 100% with us.
Unless he's planning on killing me.
No.
Like, he's going to, kill me and put my
The
body
investigation
somewhere.
must be stopped. So therefore, this
Yeah,
guy
he'll
will
stop it by turning me over and being like, here's your girl.
No, you're part of the Camarilla. You can't do that. I'll arrange for you two to meet tomorrow so you can straighten the situation out and say goodbye to the life you've forsaken.
I don't want to see my stupid boss again.
Got to.
He'll arrange. What? Your eyes must look like saucers right now.
Usually these matters are left to my discretion, and I can't think of an easier solution. The lost sheep reappears, takes care of unfinished business, and disappears, never to be seen again. Nobody cares.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly. It's simple, it's clean, no contrived schemes, no unnecessary victims.
Oh, so I don't get to kill him? Or is he a necessary victim?
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't say that there would be no killing. And it gives me an opportunity to learn more about you as I observed. When neonates interact with kind they used to hold dear, their true natures are laid bare for everyone to see.
I don't think I ever held this guy dear.
No. Neonate, no.
A young kindred, recently embraced, but more than a fledgling. I wonder, when you transition.
Yeah, it was like, when's your
between
graduation? Do you have like a quinceanera for vampires?
I mean, I've only been a vampire for 9 days, so am I a neonate now?
You're moving up fast.
Of course he's invested in being kind to you, or he's making clear his self-serving intentions so that you don't start figuring them out yourself.
Any objections?
Any alternatives are probably worse. You shake your head.
Very well. I'll arrange a meeting and drive you there tomorrow. You better come up with a load of bull that's easy to swallow.
He disappears from the apartment, leaving you as confused as the last time he closed the door on you. God damn it. You need to think it through.
Newman.
Jump scare Newman. For a long time, you just sit in your haven, lost in your thoughts, thinking about how revenge is a dish best served cold. That's not Newman, is he?
No, the Newman's the dark one, I think. Is that Newman?
What is this?
Oh, no, that's
the
the stalker. So who did we see?
This is... Yeah, we don't even know about this one yet. We were going to go back and see him, though.
Okay.
Strange bedfellows. As you leave your haven, a homeless man bumps into you. You turn after him, but he blends into the crowd before you can even get a look at his face. Instinctively, you check your pocket. A note? Looking at Manhattan Bridge. Come over. D. Knowing there are only so many places with a good enough view of the Manhattan Bridge, you decide to check the ones that aren't likely to be crowded at this time of night. Why am I on the Brooklyn side?
Yeah, I mean, like, which side do you want to be on? The bridge. That's the thing about bridges; they have two sides.
Yeah, but why am I on the Brooklyn side?
I don't know. Maybe it's because it's not as crowded as the Manhattan side.
So I came all the way over here to Brooklyn just to, like, check this one?
On a rainy day, no less.
Well, I guess I'd been with him in Brooklyn before, so I know that he favors Brooklyn.
Yeah, isn't his, like, office in Red Hook or something?
That's true. That is true. Okay. It doesn't take long before you hit the jackpot. Jane's Carousel.
I've been there.
As you're walking along the pier, you notice a lonely figure sitting on a bench, steel flask in hand, his legs up on the railing. Soon enough, you hear a familiar voice.
Hey, boss. Oh. Evening turned to night, and as the final flickering rays of sunlight gave way to the kind nocturnal shadows, so did the last jabbering tourists give way to a blessed silence. And yet, I couldn't shake the feeling.
Pausing mid-sentence, he leans back over the bench back seat and looks straight at you. Upside down, his face looks even creepier than usual.
That I wasn't alone.
I kind of want to know what's in the flask.
It's either blood or booze, or a combination of the two.
That flask, is that what I think it is?
Depends on what you think. It's a little something from my private reserve. I call it the Drunken Sailor. Because that's probably where it came from.
Oh, so it's blood laced with booze.
See, I told you.
He takes a sip.
He takes a sip, which sounds like a duck. Wrong sound effect game.
Is that supposed to be a seagull?
What? Are there ducks in the river? Are they all? I think they would all die. It's a nice weather for ducks.
I think it's supposed to be a seagull.
No, that's not a seagull. Anyway, let's continue.
He takes a sip, then points the flask. He takes a sip and points the flask in your general direction.
Duck juice. Want some?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh yeah, that's a free feeding opportunity. Go for it.
Sure, why not? You smell the contents of the flask and immediately recoil. Even if it wasn't for the nasty whiff of cheap booze, the underlying scent of blood underneath isn't appetizing at all either. Oh, I'm not going to be able to drink it because I'm a venture.
Yeah, you probably just give it back then.
You know what? I'll pass.
Don't want to hear me complaining. Not about that, anyway.
Yeah, you complain a lot, don't you?
There's been another one. Killing, I mean, down by the docks.
Which docks?
The ducks. Don't you hear the ducks?
Same MO, the blood and the graffiti.
Yep. It was our gal, all right. Victim sucked dry, same as before. Another sign on the wall, something about impending doom and, oh Lord, he coming. The particulars escape me. You know what? That night I saw her, she looked so frail, so innocent. Deep inside, I was hoping she'd be spooked. Get out of town, and maybe, just maybe, that would be the end of it. But that's me, you know, hopelessly optimistic.
Yep, that's you, all right. Okay, so what's the plan?
The plan is...
He stops mid-sentence, taking a swig of liquid courage.
You stop her. At any cost.
Great plan. Step 2, question mark.
I'd rather it not involve killing the girl, but I'm starting to think that ship has already sailed.
Sound like a duck.
It's just like, maybe since he's a Nosferatu, like parts of his throat have sort of atrophied, and like parts of it, like the muscles kind
Like
of
a
squeak together.
Duxferatu.
The mallard? No, I'll think of something.
Okay, you do that. Another swig. You're
Different
not sure
types
how
of
much
ducks.
of this is genuine and how much is an act, but still, he's starting to worry you a bit.
Hey Google, name a whole bunch of ducks.
Dude.
According to Crime Wing Crest Lodge, a group of ducks can be called a raft of ducks, a team of ducks, or a paddling of ducks.
Paddling.
That wasn't even what you were trying to ask.
No, it sure wasn't. But it gives me a little bit more sun to work with. Keep going. So anyway. Yeah, I can't think of two things at once. All right, I'll drop it. I've set up a meeting. Neutral ground, public space. Shouldn't get too ugly. Still, I was hoping you could tag along.
So wait, you just called the girl and were like, come meet us? That's easy.
Hey, murderer.
Yeah, oh, maybe we're...
Oh.
Okay, so who are we meeting? He takes another compulsive swig.
Better strap in, because this one's a doozy. You've got to. No, you've got to tell them. The parents' line is what made me laugh.
Oh, for crying out loud, just fucking tell me. Who are we meeting?
My parents. Valerie. Was that the one who cornered you in that weird
That's what I'm
crack
about to
house?
ask. Valerie, as in murderous bitch Valerie, likes to choke people out for the fuck of it Valerie, that Valerie?
You ever notice that if you repeat a word enough times, it starts to sound like animal noises?
Like duck noises?
Quack, quack, quack. But yeah, that Valerie. I know you two didn't exactly hit it off, but she's not as bad as you might think. I mean, in some respects, she's probably worse, but she can be reasoned with.
Once again, he goes for the flask, but stops himself mid-motion.
Apparently not. Listen to him go. Look, the way I see it, we ain't got a choice. As much as I want to help Sana, she's clearly a few bats short of a belfry. More people are gonna die unless we do something about it.
Do you really think we can trust someone like Valerie? D'Angelo almost does a spit take.
Quack! No. But we can do business with her. I'm just worried that her asking price might be a little too steep for my liking. But then again, you don't always get what you want, huh?
Noticeably proud of his words of wisdom, he tries to top him off with one last swig. A single drop falls between his crooked teeth. He looks at the empty flask with the utmost contempt.
Well, ain't that fucking poignant?
Muttering a curse under his breath, other than that curse he just said out loud, he makes a valiant effort to get up off the bench. As he staggers, struggling to remain upright, you offer your shoulder to lean on. He shoots you a smile that's as crooked as it is affectionate.
Yeah, you're drunk as hell. Let's go solve crimes. Hey, kid.
You meet his gaze, trying to look friendly rather than condescending.
It failed. You're alright.
Aw, he thinks I'm alright.
He's drunk.
And with that heartfelt moment, you bid adieu to the sprawling vista and make your way toward the bridge. Next stop, Manhattan. I just came from Manhattan.
2 hours later.
Entering the park from Midtown Manhattan, you promptly take a spot by one of the alleys, not very deep into the park. The park. I guess they mean Central Park. Like, what else would be the park?
The park.
Minutes pass. 5, 10, 15. You start
Then the
to
train
wonder.
comes. Yay, we can make it to Manhattan.
It's true. You start to wonder if she's even going to show up. Suddenly, you hear a familiar voice, but with an unfamiliar tone. She sounds almost nice. Hello, Ginny. And there she is, walking along the side of the fountain. She looks less out of place here than back at that junkie-infested hovel, but only by a slight margin. Something tells you there are only so many places she would feel at home, and probably not ones you would want to find yourself in.
Val?
She glances over at you, barely noting your presence. Sorry about last time. Nothing personal, you understand. When I get caught up in the moment, I can get a bit intense.
I can attest to that. Yeah, I'd say the same. Let's get it over with.
Play nice, you two. We have some business to discuss.
All work and no play, huh? Why not?
You're a venture at your job.
She turns to D'Angelo and flutters her eyelashes. You can tell she doesn't see you as her equal, but this come-hither routine is getting kind of unnerving.
Lay it on me, sugar.
I don't know what the proposition is, so... We're here to talk about Sana.
Who? Oh, right. The thin blood. What about her?
We're crossing over into Sophie territory.
I know.
Where everything's going to be in parentheses and quotes again. The girl's a threat. We need to find her. Figure we can do it faster if we work together.
Uh-huh. Keep going, honey, because I have a feeling there's a catch coming.
Sassy. The catch is...
Awkward silence. It's not often you seem at a loss for words, seem struggle. You decide to jump in. I'm not an asshole, gosh.
It's your call.
I can be political, sheesh. We want the girl to stay alive.
See, no, that's a deal breaker right there, sugar. If you want me to even consider it, you'll have to sweeten the pot.
Once again, she turns to D'Angelo.
And I bet tall, dark, and handsome over here might have some ideas.
You want a cookie?
Oh, yeah.
Just tell us what you want.
Oh, you're no fun anymore.
It's not my job to be fun.
I mean, she's talking like a Batman villain. I should have just gone complete Batman villain with her.
She wants a higher profile target. To show off to the prince what a good little scourge she is. That all you care about nowadays, huh? Playing the game, climbing the ranks.
A smile creeps onto her lips. You can tell it's forced. D'Angelo definitely knows how to get under her skin.
That's my Ginny, a big old brain and a heart to match.
Once again, she turns to you.
I knew right away he'd try to help this girl. He does love him a damsel in distress. But you, I'm still not sure what your angle is.
You're not going to.
Killing humans threatens the masquerade. Putting a stop to it is bound to turn a couple heads.
So you're not a hopeless romantic like some of us here? Good to know, in case you ever get my way. So that you know my terms. Contact me when you've made up your mind. Don't take too long, though. I'm a lucky girl. I might just find your little thin blood on my own. Still, I hope we can work together. We did make a good team back in the day, didn't we?
Slowly, seductively, she puts her arms around his shoulders. She glances over at you, clearly enjoying how awkward it makes you feel. I don't like PDA. Does she think I'm jealous? Like...
It's like, oh no, let me kiss the disgusting Nosferatu drunk.
I guess...
No.
You really do have a thing for the hidden, don't you?
My things are none of your concern, sugar. Anyway...
Withdrawing from the strange half-embrace, she flicks D'Angelo's nose gently with her index finger. Almost instantly, she turns from flirtatious to dispassionate.
However this plays out, I have a feeling we'll meet again. Sooner than later. Until then...
Without sparing you another glance, she disappears down an unlit park alley. D'Angelo watches her go. The look on his face is a mixture of longing and guilt, is borderline comical. Finally, he turns back towards you, as if breaking some spell he was under.
I hate to see her go, but I love to watch her walk away. Sorry. Well, that could have gone a lot worse.
I kind of want to know their personal life, but I feel like we should stay on task.
No, he's drunk. You might as well get some information out of him while you got him. Besides, it might compromise the mission.
Okay, I have to ask. Did you and she ever...
Nope, not going there.
Correct.
Val and I, we got some history, some of it good, some of it bad. Let's leave it at that. And kid, don't be fooled. Val likes to play around, but she will rip your fucking guts out and stuff them up your ass if it means she can get what she wants. And right now, she wants me to give her Larsen.
Larsen? Why would she want him? Larsen is the thin blood primogen, right?
I think so, yeah. He's a primogen, remember? A weak one, but still, for a scourge, he's as much more valuable a target than some no-name Duskborn. And it just so happens that a certain someone might have some dirt on him.
I thought he was your friend, bro. He
Didn't
squints.
he, hold him up by the neck in the middle of, outside of his house?
Yeah, but it's like, you go to him for favors and he gives them, and then you just...
threaten to kill him and his family.
He squints, rubbing the bridge of his nose.
Fuck it. I'm heading back to the office. Need to put my feet up, get some blood flowing to the old noggin. You coming?
You nod. Why the hell not? And so you make your way toward 5th Avenue. You've got a long way ahead of you and a lot of stuff to figure out. Although it's not your first visit, you still find it hard to navigate the dark, rust-ridden corners of the grain terminal. Luckily, this time you're with someone who could probably do this blindfolded, so you just follow his lead. As you're both climbing the rickety stairs leading to the mezzanine, you suddenly notice a light coming from D'Angelo's office. A quick look assures you that no, he did not, in fact, leave it on. Bust through the door like undead Tango and Hooch, or was it Turner and Cash? Ready to unleash unholy fury on the intruders. You half expect an Anarch death squad or a SI hunting party.
She's awfully brave for bouncing into certain danger.
Instead, you get Larsen, who nearly falls out of the chair when you two bust in. Larsen, what the hell are you doing here?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm waiting for you two bozos to show up.
Seemingly both intrigued and irritated by the surprise visit, D'Angelo walks over to the cabinet and pulls out a fresh cigar.
And now that the clowns have arrived, does His Highness mind telling us what brings him to our merry circus tent? Her.
He points at a tiny shadow cowering in the corner of the room. To your astonishment, it turns out to be a very familiar face.
Oh, maybe she's being forced to drink blood, so she's a thrall or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The blood! No, not again, please.
Where the hell did you find her?
Outside my front door. She must have heard of me, found out where I lived. It's not uncommon knowledge amongst the Ducksborn. Ducksborn?
Ducksborn, you got ducks on the brain.
Here in Duxburg. She probably figured out I could help, but honestly, I have no idea what to do with her. I mean, I should turn her into the prince, but that's just another strike against my people. And again, I can't just set her loose, not after what she did. Fuck, D'Angelo, can you tell that I'm desperate if my first instinct was to come to you? No, Larsen, I would attribute that decision to what's left of your common sense.
He leans over to you.
Hey, kid, I think we should call it a night. Maybe give me some time to talk to the girl. Maybe I'll get through to her somehow.
The sign! It's always there!
I ain't holding my breath.
Honestly, you're glad to leave him to it. Spending the night in a small room with a tiny serial killer somehow doesn't seem too appealing. Aren't I a serial killer?
No, you're a vampire.
Aren't we all Oh, I guess I don't kill the people I drink blood from, do I?
I don't know.
Still, you're hoping D'Angelo will be all right. He's got some tough choices ahead of him. Oh, time to rest again.
Now we need to rest, yeah. Yeah.
Knock, knock, knock. You'd ask who's there, but you don't know if the sheriff of New York City would play along. When you open the door, you see him toying with the car keys he's holding in his hand.
Ready to go, fledgling?
I thought I was a neonate by now.
Right.
Make up your mind. You don't feel like it, but you give him a nod nevertheless.
Excellent. Stay close.
He leads you down to the vehicle he's parked nearby. Once again, he takes the wheel, literally and figuratively.
Why is that funny?
I don't know. Everything inside is just the way you remember
Eyes on the road, Kadir.
Down to the rear view mirror reflecting the intense stare of your guide. Why am I in the back seat? Why don't I sit next to him?
Yeah, right?
It's just so he can stare at me. Look at those dreamy eyes.
We're gonna die.
However, the trip itself feels notably different. The last time Kadir drove you around, he was forcibly dragging you away from your old life. This time, he's pulling you back into it. Goddamn Newman. You're getting violent just thinking about him.
Good. Let me tell you how it's going to go.
That's right, I didn't spend any time thinking up a backstory, did I?
Oh, whoops. As I said, I've arranged the meeting between you and your kin. It's going to take place somewhere you should know very well.
Kin? Am I related to Newman?
No, I mean kin as in, like, humans. I'll watch over you two from a safe distance to make sure you adhere to the rules. You should know those very well, but I'll reiterate just so you can't ever say I didn't warn you. Don't do anything that would violate the masquerade. Don't establish some secret routes of contact. I will know. Do treat it as the last time you two will ever meet. Take this chance to wrap everything up. Here's your story. You're fine. Found yourself at a crossroads, decided to radically change your life and move out of the city. The subway is unbearable, the rent is too high, they've heard it all. However, you do not appreciate being accused of a crime you did not commit, so you're back, both to clear your name and strike fear into the heart of the real culprit. By now, you should know how to cause fear amongst the living, right?
He smirks at you.
Have fun. As long as you don't leave a mess for me to clean up, we should be good.
So I can eat him.
I think mess could be figurative and, like, political mess.
The car makes a sudden turn.
I'll leave the finer details to you. Just be so kind and don't make me regret it.
You can sense he's going out of his way for you, but doesn't try to force you into gratitude by stating it plainly. If you know, you know. He'll see if you are worthy of his aid.
We're here.
You take a look around and recognize your destination. He was right. It is a familiar place. It's the office in which you wasted the best years of your life.
Newman should be up there. Apparently someone is blackmailing him with documents proving his penchant for embezzlement. The poor guy is stuck in his office and he's probably pretty shaken up. The documents don't exist, but it would be a shame if someone went there and wiped the floor with the man, found proof that he pilfered the funds and forced him to admit his crimes.
He turns off the engine and relaxes comfortably in his seat. Did you find a parking spot?
We just pulled up out front.
Is he, like, hovering by a hydrant?
Just like if a cop comes over, it's like, hey, you gotta move that car. He's just like, Jedi mind trick.
You silently leave the car and head straight for Newman's office. The elevator ride up just doesn't seem to end. After what feels like 5 hours, but in reality is closer to 30 seconds, you finally reach your floor. Your ex-boss is sitting in his office, just like Kadir said. Well, this place looks familiar. Wasn't this my office?
Yeah, this is like scene 1 when we started the game.
Yeah, I guess we have very similar offices. Maybe everyone here had the same office. He looks, how can you put it? As if he has just Googled body language of alpha males and attempted to poorly copy the most cartoonish posture in order to intimidate the blackmailer. Out of habit, you take a deep breath as you step inside his office.
Gwen?
He immediately relaxes. It's just Gwen, his eyes say as a sly grin appears beneath them.
Forget to ask for a vacation? People will worry, you know. Not to mention overwork to hell and back, then overwork some more. Someone had to take over your responsibilities. And guess what? Just as we started digging into your work, some unexpected financial irregularities started popping up, so we'll need to work on a common story to explain those, you see?
You keep quiet and just stare him down. The poor idiot still thinks he's the predator in the room. Let's see how long it takes for him to realize his mistake. Newman senses you're different somehow. He attempts to stare back, but fails to withstand your glare. He starts to wonder what's going on, and quickly arrives at a conclusion.
Wait a second. So you're the one who sent me that message. Now that's a laugh.
He starts approaching you.
Sweetheart, if I'm going down, you're going down with me. You think you can convince anyone that you never knew what was going on around here? Fat chance. And even if you did, you know my friends. They'd never let you live it down.
He's right in front of you, licking his lips, pondering the best way to display his complete physical superiority. You won't give him the chance.
No.
Wait.
I'm
gonna use presents, but
that's what I would do.
I was hoping one of them would be just like bite him and drink his blood.
Oh no, that was a mess for him to clean up. You're supposed to...
No, not if I just like drink some of his blood. I don't have to kill him. I want his
Just
blood.
think about Kadir and think about the job he would have to do and how disappointed
throwing him
he would
outside
be.
the building would be breaking the masquerade. I'm not going to do that.
I would do presents.
Using him like a punching bag would be cathartic, but I'm afraid he'll punch me back.
Yes.
So I'm going to do presents. Before Newman blinks, you're standing in front of him with your arms crossed. After he blinks, your hand is already on his throat. He freezes up.
That's not presents.
He watches you get in his face and slowly brandish your long fangs.
Wait. Presents is like a mind trick. It's like, oh, now you're scared.
I guess I'm exuding the presence while I'm also doing this.
But showing your fangs and all this stuff sounds very unmasquerade-y.
Yeah, I thought presence was supposed to, like, protect me. Maybe I can wipe his memory after. A loud, throaty, inhuman growl rings out throughout the office and begins to morph into a violent hiss. For a moment, your ex-boss can't identify the source of the overwhelming sound, or rather, his brain refuses to accept that your relatively small body is capable of generating a noise like this. As he begins to understand and process the unnatural sight of your fangs, he is gradually overpowered by an animalistic fear that shatters his entire worldview. Oh, excellent. I love to shatter an alpha male's worldview.
It's not going to end well.
You were supposed to be a victim. Why are you a threat? Why did reality break? You slowly tighten your grip on his neck, but not hard enough to trigger a fight response, but enough to strike deeper fear into his heart. Kneel. No, my name is Newman.
Oh, yeah, beat me to it.
Newman complies with your demands, squealing softly. A single tear making its way down the stubble on his cheek. Obey.
I'll do whatever you want. Just go kill me, please.
You gather your strength and throw him, slamming him against his desk.
I'm guessing no matter what we picked, it's always going to end in violence. Because, damn it, she deserves it.
A born boardroom predator has met his better in the place he least expected it. You slowly start walking toward him.
Stop. I get it. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it.
With shaking hands, he scrambles towards a safe on his shelf. He opens it and takes out some documents inside.
This is what you want, right? This is what you want.
I don't know. Is it? No one said anything about documents. You rip the papers from his hands and browse them. These should be enough to, as Kadir would put it, prove his penchant for embezzlement.
Oh, clear your fucking name. Tell them somebody else.
You twist your heel into his hand. He screams.
Ow. I did it. I'll tell them I did it.
If you don't, I'll visit again. You walk into the elevator, press the ground floor button, and wave at Newman as the doors start closing. He mumbles something under his breath and winces in pain. but I wanted to eat him.
I would have done like the whole it's like I was never here thing.
I don't know if I have that power. I wanted to eat him.
Masquerade.
But I could have at least had like a few mouthfuls. Back to Kadir's car. Once you close the door, he instantly puts his foot on the gas pedal. Ooh, look, I'm getting thirsty. See? See? I'm getting thirsty.
Is that what the blood stains mean? Walking off the pitch with no regrets? Said everything you had to say?
I didn't give him my whole like weird backstory.
It's like you literally just said kneel, obey, and you better.
I wiped the floor with him and got the documents that should keep him in check. That asshole will be looking over his shoulder constantly for the rest of his life. Kadir smiles deviously.
Looks like you can take care of business, as expected.
Can you take me somewhere to eat now? I don't like these thirsty marks on the corner of my screen.
I thought they were always there.
No, they show up when I'm getting thirsty.
Ah. I don't need to tell you to hang on to those documents, but keep in mind that you can use them for more than a security guarantee. We're always looking for some more contacts amongst the big fish. Once you settle in, you can use what you know of Newman to convince the elders that he's better off as your ghoul.
My ghoul, you say?
Ghoul, noun.
A minion created by giving a bit of vampiric vitae to a mortal without draining them of blood first, which would create a vampire instead.
That's poetic. I like it. I hope that's a thing.
He becomes my ghoul?
Yes.
Now that's an enticing thought. You're surprised at his suggestion. The car speeds up to cross an intersection before the light turns red. You give Kadir a good hard look.
Why are you not mean to me?
Thanks. It doesn't feel like a, how do you call it, very vampire thing to say, but you say it nevertheless. He's visibly taken aback, and his usually furrowed brow smooths out for a moment. Are we gonna fall in love?
Aww. Yeah, this is a respect thing.
Then he takes on a serious, slightly sorrowful expression.
Don't suck up to me, kid. Mr. Bad Guy is still here, and without a doubt, he will go back to decapitating suckers like you any time now.
The car starts slowing down.
We're here.
You look out the window and see your haven.
Take care. I'll see you around, and just pray I don't have to see you too often.
Are we playing this game too neatly? Are we just choosing all the right answers and not having any fun and getting any consequences?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's a role-playing game, so we are making choices as she would have, and she's a very sensible venturer.
Did I make her too sensible?
No, I think this is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we were playing as like a Tremere or a
Bruja.
Yeah. No. What are the crazy ones again?
Malkavians.
Yeah. Then would be kind of.
Agents of Chaos.
Yes. Do I look like someone with a plan?
You leave the car and start walking to your haven, thinking about Kadir. Can't say you're fond of him, what with the welcome he gave you and all, but after tonight, you can't say you aren't either. We're gonna fall in
I
love.
thought this was a bonding moment.
You're gonna need some more time to understand him, that's for sure. It's halfway through the night. I am hungry. I do need to feed. So I got the half the night left. I want to find out what's going on with this whole stalker thing. Somebody's watching me. Part 2. Last time you failed to resolve the situation with your stalker. You have to get a handle on that one way or another. Well, let's get a handle on it.
Let's handle it.
You're in your haven when the intercom rings. Answering cautiously, you hear an older male voice.
He doesn't look very old.
Yeah, he doesn't look old at all.
Hello? I'm calling because a friend asked me to come by and offer you my services.
Who is this?
It's not important.
The man sounds strangely excited, breathing hard. I need something to go on.
She told me not to talk about these things in public. I know you're one of them. Please, it's all right. I don't mind. You can drink with me if you understand what I mean.
A man you've never seen before is paying a visit to an apartment not many people know of, offering you to feed from him. I'm gonna be brave.
Oh no, I would have been all like, nah. If you don't have,
then I'll never solve the mystery.
if you don't have references, GTFO.
Let's continue this face to face. Well, I'm a scary vampire. You saw what I just did with my powers. I'm not worried about this guy. I'll just make him pee his pants.
Okay. Unless he's playing a game with you. That's a wonderful idea.
Silence. A minute passes and you hear a knock on the door to your haven. You cautiously open the door. What I don't understand is why the door is in the same wall as the windows. Like, there's got to be a hallway outside this door, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe like you're on like a corner, like there's the wall and then it goes that way.
Oh,
and
maybe. Corner apartment. How fancy.
Right?
In Times Square. A stranger looks at you sheepishly. He's in his 30s. Wait, 30s is an older man? He's younger than you.
It's true.
Dressed in a clean business suit. He looks moderately successful. Someone you can meet at an investment bank.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to intrude. That's why I called from downstairs.
You think he's a vampire slayer? You think he's going to try to kill me?
I don't know.
I'm living on the edge. I'm worried about I'm playing this game too boring, so...
Okay.
You know what? Come in. I was hungry anyway. I am hungry. Maybe that's why I'm making poor decisions.
Oh.
Thinking with my hungry brain. The man looks comically satisfied as you usher him into your haven. He barely waits for you to close the door before he loosens the collar of his shirt, closes his eyes, and bares his neck in quivering expectation.
This is a sex thing.
You look at the man, taken aback by such forwardness. Figuring that you didn't invite the man here for a chat, you lean closer, take him by the shoulders, and sink your fingers into him. Hey, no, I wanted to ask him questions first. I wanted to ask him, who sent you? And is this a sex thing?
Well, at least get your fill before that.
No, but how do I know he's not poisoned? What if someone's trying to poison me? What if he has, like...
Can you do that?
I don't know. You can in other vampire franchises.
Yeah. We'll see how it unfolds. They won't kill you that easily.
I call shenanigans on these options. I wanted to ask him more questions. This is not an unpleasant way to feed, you reflect as the blood flows into your mouth. The food comes to your door of its own volition. Man moans as you drink from him, lost in the ecstasy of the kiss. It feels a little unseemly, but it would be churlish to begrudge him his pleasures.
Ooh, I like the word churlish.
Taking care not to drink too much, you let go of the man after licking his wounds closed. Suddenly, you're startled by a surprising sight. A woman, not very old, strangely dressed, is looking at you intently, only an arm's length away. What? Before you can react, the mysterious woman opens your front door and vanishes from sight, leaving you to wonder whether you really saw her at all. So wait, she was in the room with me, and then she left?
That's why I assumed that, like, this wormy little guy is like, oh, come up, and this is an offer you can't refuse. But that's just going to, like, let other people in. You open up the door, and then anybody else can
Why didn't I
inside.
close the door after him?
Maybe that's why he was like,
Take me now.
Take me now.
So I really think I would have closed the door after him, though. If I'm like a born and bred New Yorker, I know to close the damn door.
Maybe you make a better venture than she would.
As you stare, confused, the man you drank from slips out of your havenette into the hallway, staggering a little from the effects of the kiss. Wait, why don't I grab him and be like, what the hell is going on?
You should. That's what I would do.
You close your door, wondering what that was all about. No, I don't. I go after him and I say, hey, dude, answer some questions. These are terrible options. Who wrote this? At least you got to feed, if nothing else. Yeah, nothing else. I'll say nothing else. Sheesh. Well, I gotta rest now. I feel like we made some bad decisions, but you know what? We took a risk.
I think we did okay up until that guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
No, everything else I feel like we were playing very by the book. So I think next time we should go to see Tamika again. Unless something else is going to pop up after our rest. You never know who's going to be knocking on our door.
Well, not now. Not that I know where you live.
Yeah, I don't know what that tiny woman stole from my apartment while I was drinking from that guy.
No, it's like a threat message type of thing. It's like, we know where you are.
Do you think she was one of the vampire hunters that we saw in the church? The wheelchair lady and her, like, goons?
Ooh, I don't know. Mystery.
Tell us what you think, friends. Because next time we're going to go to Tamika, but I don't have any other, like, big plans beyond that. We've decided we're not
I still want to go see that beefy guy.
I want Sophie to tell me that she's having a sleazy reporter sniffing around her before I go after the sleazy reporter sniffing around her. Like, she never even mentioned this to me
be
yet.
proactive in your sleuthing.
But how would I even know to do it?
I don't know.
Who
I forgot
told
that part
me?
of the story.
No, there was no part of the story. That's why. This option just popped up with nothing prompting it
I'm
whatsoever.
pretty sure she mentioned it in our last thingamabob.
I don't remember that at all.
I know. I have the
I'm
poorest
pretty
memory
sure
ever.
she didn't.
Okay.
And I feel like it was a dialogue option we missed or something, and the game just like borked, or it's just like. Not that I dislike this game. It's been fun.
Yes.
I am intrigued. I am intrigued. All right. So, next time, Tamika, and anything else you recommend or suggest, and so on and so forth.
Best sign off ever.
What about the ducks?
What about the ducks? I don't want to give up about the ducks. I really feel bad because wait, hang on. Let's see if I can
I'm
at least
still
leave
mad that Kadir called me a Red Sox fan. Like, he did that
Hey,
just
Google.
to hurt me.
types of ducks.
There's peking.
Let's see. No, I already did mallard. Canvasback. No. Marbled. Fulvous whistling duck. Lesser whistling. These are terrible versions of ducks. They're all whistling ducks. All right, you know what? Hey, give us your best duck puns in the comments.
Yes, give us duck puns because we failed you on the duck pun front.
No, I failed. It's my personal failure.
It's true.
But fortunately, they're not subscribing to me. They're subscribing to you.
And on that note, good night.
Quack.